Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Queen Tulsa show. We are here to break it down, break it down, break it down. Okay. Now, please follow queentulsa.com. Subscribe is free. And if you want to donate, my Cash App is right there on the screen. All right. So we are here because um the young lady that was claiming to be R. Kelly's daughter um, has been exposed. And now she has to come up with another scheme. And this is an open panel. Anybody is welcome to come up. Let's just, have an adult conversation. Let's agree to disagree. Let's agree to disagree. But I do want to give space and opportunity because Lagena did fly into my um comments because I tagged her into a video. And so I'll place the link down there just in case she flies in here and wants to come up and sound off. Now, let's be honest. When we talk about R. Kelly is a light brown skinned man. Aaliyah is a light fair skinned woman. And Lagena has been playing a little game of lies since she was young. You know, she started to get into telling lies when she was young. And the governess, shout out to the governess. I was able to grace her panel tonight. You guys make sure you go over and check out her channel. And I did not know that she was a native of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out to that. Her channel is A Walk with the Ancestors. It's so interesting that that's the name of her channel. But when I tell you this beautiful queen, she don't like to be called a queen. This beautiful governess has definitely made her mark. She has covered many stories and has done many readings. She does offer classes. That's her YouTube channel, so you guys can go over and subscribe to her. But Lagena is now on the run to another story. And the interview was so informing. I mean, I think we got the uncensored version, but it was still real. It was the uncensored version, but it was still real, like direct, So let me get our relaxing music as I give the commentary. Absolutely. Okay. And we do have an exclusive that we will break tomorrow. We will break that story tomorrow. Let's see. Let me see if I can reach out to a source right quick. When we talk about a deer in headlights, you can definitely think about Lagena. You can lie for so long before they catch up with you. This is what Lagena decided to post as a comment as I took her commentary from the interview. Well, I took her interview and I had given commentary on it And so I tagged her in a video and I told her that I would be going live tonight. And so she says, no lies, but I'm glad y'all believe in psychics. Now, wait until the reading I did with the Baron a few weeks ago that will come out. Let's see which psychic is telling the truth with my reading. Well, according to your Babalao, you were warned. Here, let me bring up the right photo. So, per the governors and per your Babalao, your Babalao told you don't go in the past. You'll dig a hole you can't get out of. But no, you said, no, I got this. I'm Lagena. This is my script, this is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so you were warned. And then not only that, you stated that you talked to your Tata. Well, your Tata has reached out, and your Tata said that he couldn't work with you because you're lying. So, how many people does it take to come forward and say that you were lying for you to do something different? Actually, I'm going to pin this. I'm going to actually take this live off of subscribers. Anybody can chat. So if you guys want to sound off, just go ahead and chat. I just took the subscribers mode off because it's not about that. It's about, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts? How would you feel a perfect stranger out of nowhere decides to come in and claim one of your family members and go on a press tour and gather money, gather funds? There was a fundraiser that was raised. Money was being taken up. Money. Oh, turn down the music a little. All right. All right. Leilani says, hey, Queen Tulsa, what's going on? I'm out of the loop. Here, I'm going to drop the link again, Leilani. I want you to come up because I have a question and I'm trying to figure all this out. And I can explain it to you when you come on up. Fort Built F says, turn your music down a little. Okay. I just have to cut that music down. Okay. How is that? Is the music better? Okay, Leilani's gonna come up. I just want this to be relaxing. I know it's nighttime. Somebody might be at work or in sleep. Like laying in the bed or something. Don't want to wake up a spouse. I want to make it comfortable for you all. But Lagena Gold lied about being RKELLY and Aaliyah's daughter. And she goes on to uh accredited ancestral healer and reader. And she decides to come forward and still lie. It's like she wants to take a lie down, to the grave with her. All right, we have Leilani for God. She does have a channel. Um, Definitely check her out. I'll get your link and put it in the chat. Yes, I'm enjoying your show. Thank you so much. Gratitude and greetings. All right, Leilani, how are you? Greetings.
Hey, Tulsa, how are you? I'm a little sleepy, but I was trying to check in and see what was going on.
Well, Thank you for coming by. Did you know, are you familiar with the story of Lagena Gold? She is the young lady that come out and said that Aaliyah and R. Kelly were her parents.
Yeah.
Okay, well, she reached out to the governess. Um,
Oh, yeah. I saw that in the algorithm, but I didn't have a chance to watch the video. What happened? Did it go well or did they fall out? Because I know the governess was saying that she cursed Jaguar in Tokyo behind them, like, pulling tricks with Legina.
well, I want to say this: she reached out to the governess for an interview, and she decided to play in the governess face. They could have done it, a pre-recorded and not live streamed the conversation or the interview. But
Mm.
Legina decided that she would play in governess face and um, come on the show, do it live, and regain her clout that she had when Jaguar was around, because that's really the only time that she was relevant. And so the governess had her own, and she laid the foundation. This is an honest conversation. We're going to be straight up. This is what I do. This is my history, and these are my credentials. Everybody agreed, and the reading proceeded. And so Legina decided to give pushback. She wanted to give pushback when the questions, and they weren't even hot questions, they were just heating up. And so the first part was kind of smooth. And so when you get into the question of Aaliyah is not your mother, and then getting on to the fact of who her real mother is and who her real siblings are, how old she is. And then it had come out that she was involved in incest within her family.
Legina?
She had partaken in it.
She admitted to it or governess read it?
Both,
Wow.
both. She admitted to it, and she said, she said, I don't remember verbatim, but this is the part that I did remember. And I told her, don't do that. That's not right. Well, you told her don't do that, but you never said that I went to go tell an adult or a parent that there was some nefarious acts going on that I had witnessed. But she covered it up. And like she's trying to cover up the two men that violated her because she don't want them to look bad in front of the camera. But I think it's a little too late for that. Fort Bill says she's trying to challenge the governess now, so this is not going to go good for her. The governess opened up her closet and made her tell on her own self. And listen, she's still out here on this tangent, and she's still trying to keep the lie alive. This is what she posted on my because I had tagged her in a video, and I told her that she lied, she got exposed. She says no lies, but I'm glad y'all believe in psychics. Now wait until the reading I did with the Baron a few weeks ago that will come out. Let's see which psychic is telling the truth with my reading. Well, beloved, I want to save you some time. um you got the reading that was very much so accurate yesterday night. What are your thoughts, Leilani, on the information that I just provided and just summing it up just a little bit?
Um, I have to watch the interview to see how it went down to really speak fully on it. But from what you said, I remember Legina said that her family, her immediate family, the reason why she did not want to return is it Detroit? Is that where she's from?
Hmm.
She said that she didn't want to go back to them because they were involved in sex trafficking. And of course, as the audience, we don't know if that's true or false. But if she's saying that she was a victim of SA inside of her family, that kind of puts a lot of things together as to why she wanted to get away from them, why she's not connected to them, even if the Aaliyah thing is just a lie. It's like, why? Why are you disassociating from your biological family? So something happened, and it could be that there was a trauma, and that has led to her exaggerating things. So it kind of puts pieces in place. And she admitted to having mental health issues and having been in a psychiatric, institution recently. So unfortunately, we have to reserve our judgment until we have evidence on the things that she says because of that. But that doesn't discount that if she continues to have stories around SA, it's quite possible that she is a victim, and some of her symptoms are the result of that. That's what I think.
Let me ask you this. Okay, being being a victim and being a survivor of SA, do you think a person would remember that they were SA'd?
It depends on the age. Anything after the age of 5, yes, and anything before that is questionable.
Mhm. Do you feel like individuals can weaponize their mental health when they are out here gaslighting and they was on a script and they got caught red-handed? Do you think it's fair for them to then, oh, my mental health?
I mean, we saw that with Jaguar Wright, when she creates a scene and then, like at the airport and at the police station, then she all of a sudden goes, when the cops start moving in on her, oh, I don't have my medication. So it definitely happens, but it has to be accounted for. It is um, a defense from liability in a lot of situations.
Mhm.
So I think we have to account for it, that it could be either or. It could be that something really happened, or it could be the mental illness. I don't think it should be used for clicks and views either way. Either way. But now that it is in that arena, it's hard. I can't put my foot down because of all of these factors. I can't, say she's 100% lying or she's 100% telling the truth.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because when you talk about the truth and a lie, well, there was an ancestry or a DNA test that was done. And, my thing is, why are you holding back on the results? Let us see the full paper. You were very loud and proud to say that Aaliyah and R. Kelly are your parents, which they're not. Let's be loud and proud when it comes to the results. Hello, cocaine. How are you? He says, what's up, Tulsa? I feel like she should be loud and proud with those results. What are your thoughts on that?
She said she did whatever it's called, a DNA test on her parents, and she admitted that she was from Africa. I don't know if she said the results indicated that she was from either Nigeria or Ghana, but she did that, and I think that's more important than her doing the DNA on Aaliyah and R. Kelly, because for her to admit that she's either Ghanaian or Nigerian means that she's moving closer to her real truth.
Right. But you know what? In my opinion, from observation, it seems like she doesn't want to move in her truth. It seems as though that she wants to move with the lie. And she in her mind, I will be unalive with the lie. Yeah, I'm gonna take it right on down with me. And so when you talk about, yeah, I get that you have mental illness, but you have to remember this woman has family. This woman has living people in her family. and this story has went viral. So you have to think about the, the memories, who really wants to remember, their loved one being lied on, and the way that she went up out of here on that plane and immediately went down. Like, that was trauma not only to her family but her fans, her supporters. And so it's like, when people cross over and you're not connected to them, don't try to pitch yourself with them. Don't try to pitch yourself with them. Don't because they're not here physically to defend themselves. Why didn't you come out when they were physically alive and say, "Hey, these are my parents"?
If she does in reality have a history of SA, this could be her cry for help, even though it's dysfunctional. It's like nobody close to me is helping me or believes me. So I have to create this big ass distraction to get somebody, anybody out there to listen to me. And it's dysfunctional. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but it's gonna take her years of therapy to get to the bottom of why she created this distraction and what's really going on with her. It's gonna take a long time to unravel that. I mean, she has to be willing to, unravel that, you know?
Yeah, you know what? I'll read this comment. I'll read these comments. Cocaine says, "Who's the lady speaking?" That's Leilani. I pinned her link. I pinned her link in the chat. You guys, you can go over and follow her. Subscribe to her channel. Fort Bill F says, "Because it shows the truth, but she refused to share the results." Cocaine says, "Oh, okay, got it. Thanks. I didn't pay attention to the link. My bad. You're okay." Fort Bill says, "Lagena refused to share those results of the DNA." Um, what was the last thing that you said, Leilani?
It's gonna take a long time, and she has to be willing to unravel why she's creating these big distractions.
That part. So this is my thing. I want to hold um the content creators that held a raffle, a fundraiser for her to get up out of there, because I feel like her being in that institution and getting evaluated. See, help comes when you want it, and she's a master manipulator. So what she did was she went in there and manipulated those people to get up out of there. And once she got out of there, then it was like, let me execute this plan, because now, my family's on to my tail, and I got to bust a move. I got to bust a move. What are your thoughts on, how do you think she was thinking in that situation?
I think her and Jaguar are like kindred spirits. Like they know how to draw a crowd, and they will manipulate and be salacious or whatever just for that purpose. But at the same time, they have a lot of deep issues they need to work through to get to the bottom of why are you so upset? What's really bothering you? It's all distractions. It's all smoke and mirrors. The public, we're not, I mean, I happen to be a mental health and substance abuse counselor, but as a person who watches YouTube, I'm in the audience with everybody else. We're not here to solve these people's problems. So I roast and drag people when they become demonic, when they become like a danger to the public. But at the same time, we have to account for some people generally are genuinely are mentally ill, and until they go to get help, we'll never understand why they're doing what they're doing. We're watching it like when people say, "Oh, we all just want to see a train wreck," everybody turn their head when it's a train wreck. A part of us is entertained, another part of us is very concerned. We want to see these people do better, but we can't force them.
You know what? I, I really have a hard time with people that weaponize their mental health because it's people out here, it's help available. And it's like the time that we're in, it's like everything for a click and a view, anything to go viral. And for heaven's sakes, at what ends and what lengths people go to. And when you talk about mental health, well, I think Lagena has disturbed, allegedly, in my opinion, some of Aaliyah's and R. Kelly's family with their mental health that they're going through. I mean, when you talk about the anniversaries of Aaliyah, her birthday or, the day that she crossed over, you know, it's like when you just have no respect for somebody, then it goes to another level. And
I see what you're saying. The people that she is using, the celebrities, are both
yeah,
in like a uncomfortable light, being that Aaliyah has passed and R. Kelly's in jail. It's like she comes with bringing them up, and it's like it's not good or healthy for them. Like they have their own rest in peace, Aaliyah, and R.
yes.
Kelly getting his karma, but I'm quite sure Aaliyah's estate and R. Kelly would rather that Legina was not doing this. It's like, don't do this. Like it's bad enough. Don't make it worse. But it's too late. It's already done. It's really social commentary on those of us who claim that we are healthy, functional, and normal. Why do we see this as entertainment? If we did not entertain people who were being dysfunctional, if we did not entertain people who were weaponizing their mental illness, and I see this in a lot of genres. It's in the mukbang genre, it's in the makeup artist genre, the people who rise to the top, the manosphere genre, the people who get the most views and rise to the top are the ones who have the worst mental illnesses that are unchecked. People are addicted to egomaniacs. It's something about people being obnoxious that draws a crowd. It's sickening. It makes me nauseous. But why, as a society, do we think that that's entertainment? We are the ones giving all of these crazy people across all of these different genres clicks and views because they're insane.
Well, and this is another thing. It's a disservice because when people of other races and whatever the case may be, backgrounds, they look at that stuff and then they feel like all people of that race are like that. I mean, you know, a lie travels faster than the truth. And it seems like people get off to the lies, um because like you said, it goes back to dysfunction. But my thing is the way that she associated herself. I mean, R. Kelly, of all people, I mean, his own children are, and embarrassed about the things that have come out about their father. It was nothing glorious about why he's in court or why he's behind bars right now. But for her to attach herself to it and the SA that she endured, do you where do you, how do we connect that?
That might be why she attached herself to them. It may not even be about Aaliyah. She may have been triggered by all of the essay allegations surrounding R. Kelly. That really could have been her trigger
Hmm.
because she keep talking about all her family was involved in, ex trafficking, and she said that so many times. And I feel bad for her family, the same way you're saying you feel bad for R. Kelly's family and Aaliyah's family. I even feel bad for Legina's family. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, what if she's lying on them? Like, even if it's her mental illness, which in that case would be she's not really lying, but like if they're not involved in that, that's some real heavy allegations. That's so hurtful.
And that's why I say, you know, it's so sad because if we have a perfect situation right here, but then you have people that are incarcerated because of a lie, because of somebody wanting some attention. And I'm not saying everybody in there is that's their case, but at times that can be the case. Somebody searching for some attention, and they'll do anything, they'll throw anybody under the bus, and just as long as they get their fix. What would you call that? Somebody that wants to get their fix.
That's why I was saying I think that Legina and Jaguar are kindred spirits. They both have that way of saying things that's so out there. That's what draws the crowd. I mean, but again, it still goes back to mental illness. If you feel supported, you have a community that you feel that respects you and listens to you, and you can be quirky and be yourself, you normally would not go on the internet and bring attention to yourself, especially in a way that's like surrounded by negativity, bad news. Like, who wants to be the bearer of bad news? So that's when it comes down to maybe there is some deep seated trauma that needs to be unraveled because that's not somebody who feels loved, like they wouldn't do that. So there is a missing, there is a lacking. And it's like, where is it? And like, we're not psychics, like, we're just people on YouTube. We're here to get entertainment, learn something, education. But some people are misusing the platform, like you said, just for attention. And we are just the audience. Like, we can't be responsible for everybody that gets on here now. If there's egregious behavior, like people doing criminal stuff, like robbing people and taking advantage of kids and stuff, then of course we hop on their necks. But when it comes to like mental illness, like we can't fix that. We can't do anything about that. We can talk, we can sit here and talk out the kindness of our heart because we feel some type of way. But those people know that they have diagnoses and that they need to like see their therapist and take their medication and stuff like that. And when they do, we see them look better. They look cleaner, they dress better, they speak better, they're calmer, they're not upset, right? But it's a back and forth. We can't make them take their medicine every day and see their therapist every week.
But you want to know what helped me with my trauma? It was called EMDR, and it's a hand and eye motion therapy, and it helps you reprocess your trauma. And it's not something that you can go in a doctor and say, "Oh, I want to get an EMDR." But I want y'all to Google that up, EMDR. Um, I, with one of my therapists, um, I experienced that treatment. And one thing I can say, it did help. But it first starts with you. You have to be accountable for yourself, your actions, and for every action, there's a reaction. There's a cause, there's an effect. You can only get away with something doing wrong for so long. Everything in the dark will eventually find its way to the light, and that's in all aspects. And so that's why I wanted to, these past few days, I've just been thinking, how can I serve? And look what we're doing now. We're having a conversation, a real conversation about something that people need to know. People need to be talking about it, not just us. It needs to be conversations like this.
Yeah, I agree. I think that mental health is something that all cultures sweep under the rug. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, nobody wants to deal with it because every mental illness is different. So If there was like a way to treat people easily, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But everybody's so different. So it's like, how do we deal with people like the most humane, kindest way possible, but still hold them accountable? It's hard. It's hard. There's no easy answer.
Boundaries. We have to set those boundaries. We have to stand tall in our power, set boundaries and non-negotiables. Non-negotiables and boundaries are what's going to get us there. We're not going to accept the bad the misbehaving. You can figure it out and then we can come back and we can talk. But I'm not going to enable your mess. Um Let me ask you this. Genesis, how do you feel about her safety knowing that Lagena lied? You hadn't seen the interview, but you'll watch it. How do you feel about that?
About what about Genesis?
How do you feel about her well-being, her welfare around Lagena at this current moment?
Oh, I don't know if Legina is still with Genesis. I'm not sure. I haven't confirmed it with Genesis or any other content creators, but another content creator a couple of weeks ago said that Legina went back home. I don't know if she's home in terms of with her family or if she went back to her state because there was some kind of mandate on her mental health treatment that she stay in her state. So
The
it
inter-
was implied that she went back to her state like a few weeks ago. So I don't think that she's still with Genesis.
the interview from last night, she's there with Genesis.
Oh, I didn't
Yes,
know that.
around those kids running around. And if you when you look at that video, this is the part that I didn't cover on the other live, but when you look at that video and you hear them kids running around, I want you to look at her mannerism and the way that she looks their way.
Okay. Did it make you uncomfortable? Did she look upset or?
It made me feel very uncomfortable. What it made me feel uncomfortable then, and then when more evidence had oh my God, I don't want, okay, I gotta say this. It made me feel uncomfortable then, and then later on, as the interview went on, she had partaken into incest with their sisters, their brothers.
I'm definitely gonna watch the interview like as soon as I can because now I'm like, what the hell is going
Girl,
on?
I'm gonna help you out. Let me look. I'm gonna put in the back chat because I want everybody to go over and take a look at it. If you did not catch that interview, I'm gonna put her link right here in the chat, and it's got 10,000 views already. I mean, when I tell
Yeah,
you
must have been crazy.
it, listen, it's so many twists and turns, but gratitude to the governess for conducting an interview, and she really held it down because it was times in there where Legina was trying to set her off, but it was like, girl, we're not here to set it off. We're here to set the truth free.
And I'm interested because, um, girl, if you hear me making noise in the background, I'm about to warm up some
You
food.
want me to pull up the video real quick?
If you want to, yeah. I'm about to, like I said, warm up some food. So,
Yeah,
you
it's
can,
very
you can.
cookable.
I'll mute my mic and you're gonna show it so I can watch and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, I would love
all right.
that. Give me one
I'm gonna
second.
mute up.
Okay.
Tell me when to unmute.
Okay.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this link right here is to uh the governess video. Okay. And then I want to give you guys a link to her channel so you guys can subscribe, and anytime that she goes live you guys can catch her live. So the link that I'm going to post right now is a link to her direct channel, so you just go over there, subscribe, and yes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up the content. Honey, I'm going to pull up this live. And child, I want this to continue to be out here on the YouTube streets. We just as proud as she was out there, seeing that this was her mother and her father. We need to proudly let everybody know that it's not. Cocaine says Legina doesn't have a criminal background. I think Genesis is the one Legina has to watch. I think Genesis is the one Legina has to watch out for. Legina, on the other hand, can be dangerous, but it's a defensive posture. But that's the thing. A scared person, a scared person, maybe. Listen, a person that's in danger, a scared person, child, it's a lot. Okay, yeah, my take on this is slightly different. Okay, listen, feel free to hit the link because we welcome all opinions. I worked for a behavior program for abused youth in the past. I pray they never leave Legina alone with those kids. That's my concern. That's a big one for me. So without further ado, we're not going to hold you guys back from this amazing interview. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Greetings and gratitudes, motherfuckers. Hey, motherfuckers. Hey, motherfuckers. How are y'all doing? Greetings and gratitudes, motherfuckers. Well, we are here tonight for a special occasion. This young lady reached out to me Saturday, and we set this up today to take place, and I'm going to bring her on. But before I
So, fact number one, Legina had reached out to the governess on Saturday, this past Saturday, to set all this up. And I want to give you guys a backstory. This could have been pre recorded, this did not have to go live. Legina was out of the spotlight. You know, Jag isn't trending right now. She's not getting out. Well, you know, of course, she's not out right now. Cocaine says, because I see what Genesis is doing. What is Genesis doing? Governor Fort Bill says governors also said Legina was dangerous, and I felt the same way. I think everybody felt the same way. Well, some people they were still asleep, but I felt it. Cocaine says the interview was good. However, one thing that didn't happen was Gina didn't break. Yes, she did. Listen, Gina did break. Gina was very aggressive. Gina was very she wanted, it's like she got reminded of who she was dealing with real quick. Okay. And I'm going to point it out. I'm glad you brought that up, Cocaine. Genesis reached out. Listen to what she says. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it.
I have some ground rules, okay? I ask that this young woman is respected, okay? And that we hold our thoughts and opinions to ourselves, and we give her the most utmost respect that we give over here at A Walk with the Ancestors, okay? So without any further ado, let me go on to bring on Miss LAGENAGOLD.
Hi.
Hey, greetings. How are you?
Okay, I want you guys to remember this smile. And I got to give commentary, but I want you guys to remember this smile because that smile is going to go from smile to this right here as they go into the interview. So get your snacks, get very comfortable, put on your favorite slippers because, baby, we are about to go for a deep dive. Okay, we're about to go for a deep dive. Put on your swimming suits. Okay, because we're about to go swimming. Put on your life jackets. Let's go.
I'm good. How about you?
I am well. I am well. So this is kind of a long time coming. I don't know if you know that or not. It's a long time coming. The first time I interacted with you was because Jaguar Wright called me one rising and wanted me to speak to you. You remember that?
Not really. She just had, from what I heard, it was like negative things about you. So I didn't know you didn't want to talk to me. It was just different from her end.
Okay, understood. Okay. So okay. So without any further ado, hey, motherfuckers, How are y'all doing? Greetings and gratitudes, motherfuckers. Well, we are here tonight for a special occasion. This young lady reached out to me Saturday, and we set this up today to take place, and I'm going to bring her on. But before I do,
okay, I want to make sure, Cocaine, did you hear what the governess said? She says, this young lady reached out to me on Saturday. Okay, so we just want to give the straight up commentary. We want to bring facts to the forefront. These are the facts. She spoke with Lagena. Lagena reached out. Fort Bill says she admitted about S abuse. She admitted something possibly happened. She admitted a lot of things. So just so we don't get anything misconstrued, we're gonna do this the honest way, and that's the only way. It's telling the truth. Okay, then says Genesis. Okay, and he says, okay, I appreciate it, Tulsa. Yes, we give facts. Yes. Let's get into it. Welcome, governess.
I have some ground rules, okay? I ask that this young woman is respected, okay? And that we hold our thoughts and opinions to ourselves, and we give her the utmost respect that we give over here at A Walk with the Ancestors, okay? So without any further ado, let me go on to bring on Miss LAGENAGOLD.
Hi.
Hey, greetings. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I am well. So this is kind of a long time coming. I don't know if you know that or not. It's a long time coming. The first time I interacted with you was because Jaguar Wright called me one rising and wanted me to speak to you. You remember that?
Not really. She just had, from what I heard, it was like negative things about you. So I didn't know you didn't want to talk to me. It was just different from her end.
Okay, understood. Okay. So you reached out.
I gotta point out, this was a tactic. She wanted to give some low down, dirty energy and information. Well, Jaguar said this about you, so yada, yada, yada. Because this is her MO. Let me go ahead and bash her because I know that you have an issue with her, so you can favorite me. But
I'm gonna agree with you on that. I caught that too, and I'm glad you stopped in and made commentary on that, because before Jaguar went off social media for like a year, the last person she was seen with was the governess, and they were on good terms at that moment. So I don't know why Jaguar turned against the governess, and it was sneaky for Lagena to like drop that bomb, because that's not necessarily the history of Jaguar relationship with the governess.
all right, y'all heard it first. Cocaine says you are right. Jag was positive until that one video. All right, let's go.
To me via Miss Genesis Saturday. Tell me why you reached out to me.
She had shown me the Baten video, and then I do feel spirits around too. So I felt his presence, and then what you was describing is sometimes what I feel too. So I felt like he was accurate, and it would be you talking to the spirits, and I feel like that's the goal for me. I feel like you were accurate in that end.
So, okay.
And then
so you have seen some of my work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I always give a speech, and let me say gratitude for saying that about my session with Baten and Miss Genesis.
Yeah.
So I always give a kind of a speech before I begin, okay? And so that's what I'm going to do, because I know that you are new to me. I take what I do very seriously. And so I'm going to give you my speech, and we're going to jump on into it, okay? So first of all, my name is Quatita Dean. I call myself an ancestral interpreter. I simply interpret the information given to me by the ancestors. You may call them angels, guardians, or guides. I reference them as our loved ones crossed over into the spirit, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say my prayer, my reverence, and we're going to dive into it, okay?
Okay.
Okay. The governor says, I'm about to say my prayer and then we're going to get right into it. She didn't say, Lagena, go ahead and make an outburst. Lagena, go ahead and make a sound. But as you can see, as the governess is praying, Lagena is playing in her head. Why is Legena's eyes closed? The governor said that she was going to pray before she started her interview. Open your eyes, Lagena. Open your eyes. Lagena is trying to cast up a spell that is going to block the truth. Let's go.
Okay. All right. You nervous? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
How about you?
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to see what I pick up on. Okay. Now, when I do this work, Lagena, I hear names. So it's either going to be the name or the initial to the name they're trying to get me to. Okay. And it doesn't mean that the person that I'm speaking of doesn't mean that they're passed away or crossed over. They can still currently be living, but we're acknowledging for some reason. Okay.
That's what.
I am aware that Lagena is not your biological name, but I'm going to call you that because that's what you go by. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Greetings. Yes, she tried to block it. Look at her. Somebody is in there. She keeps looking. Oh.
First, I want to understand, where does the D name come in for you?
What is funny? What's funny? She's got this old smirk on her face. It's like, it's giving me somebody's over there saying, okay, we're going to set you up a protection rim. Protection what?
How do you connect with that D name, please?
D. Is it a guy, like a?
Don't know if that's male or female, but I hear it, so I'm just going to acknowledge it. I know it's a D name, and I know it's connected to you.
I grew up with a guy named D, David. I'm not sure if that's it or.
Okay.
But he's still living. So,
okay.
Well.
Is it 5 in your family, like siblings? Is it 5 of y'all?
The people I grew up with is David. Yeah, he's a brother, adopted brother. So.
Say it one more time.
David, as far as my adopted brother, yeah, him.
Oh, okay. So in total, your siblings that you grew up with is 5 of y'all?
The people I grew up with was more than 5, but he was the one I grew up with the longest, the same households, the majority of the time.
Okay.
So yeah. If that sounds so.
Okay, understood. And then what's the braces? Who has braces? Who is the person that had the braces in the mouth?
Oh, I do know a girl. She do have, her name do start with a D, and she do have braces. Probably Desiree, maybe.
Okay.
But
and
I didn't grow up with her.
How do you know her?
I would say she was the first person I met in the family I grew up around. So I think she's the she was my original friend at first / cousin.
Okay. So I want to understand something.
Mm-hmm.
Did the abuse start like 12 or 13, or is that when the bullying started?
The abuse?
The abuse or the bullying, is that at 13 or 12?
She's looking off.
I would say younger. I feel like as far as like getting whoopings and stuff, like younger.
I want to acknowledge, tell me why 12 or 13 is significant for you.
12 or 13.
So there's two ages that stand out to me. That's the age of 12 and the age of 15. Okay. So this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there was bullying. Okay. I understand
Mm-hmm.
that there was bullying. I don't know if they came from inside of your house or if they came from school.
You said 12. If I was 12 or 13, I'm not sure. Because I feel like they was always name calling the cousins. So I feel like maybe or did something because I also don't have memories. So I'm not sure if that might have been something that's blocked out or is it something that time I was supposed to remember or so.
How familiar are you with my work?
I've seen a few videos that you did, because I'm not trying to say too much because other people informed me that I did forget something. I'm not sure if it's when I was 12 or 13.
She asks simply, how familiar are you with my work? It's either I'm familiar a lot, a little, I just tuned in, I'm not really sure. But she wants to play this, let me beat around the bush. Let's get words. It's like somebody's writing something on a paper and she's trying to look and read it off. It's given very much so scripted. I'm referring to Gina. Mm-hmm. Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen, special guest in chat. Hey, Norris, how are you? Well, you know that young lady that said that she was R. Kelly's daughter and Aaliyah's daughter? She lied. And she's being exposed. Oh, yeah. Get into her. Because she was smiling at the beginning of the video. We got cocaine up in the building.
Hey,
Cocaine. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just thought maybe I would come up. I usually don't stay on panels, but I just wanted to kind of elaborate just real briefly on what I was referring to as it relates to Gina. I was saying that, and I think you kind of got it, but if you watch her eyes, it's specifically if you go back like maybe like a minute or two, it just really seems like something is advising her or some cue cards or I don't know what it is, but she's very distracted to her left and sometimes to her right. And it's like she's following you have to like really, really watch it. Like during the whole interview, I literally just watched her eyes. And to me, I just feel like blinking like twice in a minute. Like, I don't understand that. It's just a lot going on in terms of just her focus.
Well, it was it was her fighting the forces of the truth. Um, it was she was still trying to hold on to that lie. And that's what I'm saying. Like the governors asked her, "Do you know? Have you done your research on me? Do you know? In other words, bitch, do you know who I am?"
And I forgot what she didn't answer the question, but she knows exactly who she is. I mean, Jag has spoke to her prior to, remember, Jag reached out to her first about Lagena. So you know how Jag does, she'll talk your head off about an individual. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I mean, I can't imagine her not knowing anything about the governance. Like I don't I just it's hard to believe.
Well, if she didn't know, she knows now not to ever
Mm.
play on somebody's intelligence like that. And like her Babalu told her,
The Babalao.
Babala,
Mm-hmm.
don't dig
Mm-hmm.
a hole because you're not going to be able to get out of it. Then she went to Tata. Tata didn't want to, she said she talked to Tata. Tata didn't want to talk to her because she was lying. And
Yeah.
allegedly out here on the street, she's been to so many psychics and mediums. But then this is what she posts for me. She says, "No lies, but I'm glad y'all believe in psychics. Now wait until the reading I did with the Baron a few weeks ago that will come out. Let's see which psychic is telling the truth with my reading." So do you believe in the psychics or what are you doing?
But I'm glad y'all believe in psychics. Yeah, I don't know what that sentence, if that's supposed to be sarcasm or like, because obviously she does.
Ex- Because
So
she says right there, now wait until the reading I did with the Baron. Well, ma'am, how many readings are you gonna get?
right, and who is this Baron? So we have the Babalao, and then we have the Baron, and then we have,
Tata.
you know, oh, okay, then we have the governance. Like I don't like all these different people talking to your spirit. Like I'm just not like I don't know, man. It's just not my style. But to each their own. But it would seem to me it would confuse me if I'm talking to this person, this psychic, that babalao, and ugh.
Yeah. So did you catch the full interview?
Yeah, I saw it.
I didn't know that the governess was from she's from my hometown, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I
I
didn't
didn't
know that.
Yes. It's
Mm.
a lot of history here when I tell y'all.
Oh, she okay,
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. I was
I
so I was shocked. I was so excited. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, you really picked out something that I actually did not pay attention to was the fact that she didn't answer that question. You
Mm-mm.
know, um, I missed that one, but I didn't. You know what? I did not. Once I saw the battle of spirits, like it's like Regina trying to like overpower her spirit, and her spirit trying to overpower Regina. I mean, it was to me that's kind of what I saw, but or what I felt, but it didn't work on Regina's part, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
Legina wasn't making no noise, and she got sat down really quickly because it even got to the point where it was starting to, okay, so you want to play games. So she would get when she was moving like that, she would get fought in the spirit. She getting slapped around. I mean, the spirit was just slapping her around. That's why she kept moving back and forth. But I don't want to hold y'all up
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna hop down. I just wanted to
oh no, you're good.
elaborate on my comments.
Thank you
But
for
hey,
thank you
yeah,
for sounding off and coming up here and sharing your thoughts and what you meant. Thank you for participating.
Yeah, I was just gonna say hey to Leilani. I have watched a few of her videos, and I do like her commentary. So I just want to say hi as well. But I'm gonna hop down.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much. Gratitude and greetings. All right. We're going to read some of these comments and then we're going to take you guys into this content because I know you came for a good time, not a long time. We have common sense. Honey, the governess is the truth. And she told Lagena nobody walk like she do. The governess is deep, baby. Baby. I already know. Baby. Listen, let's go.
Or and if it was school, I did get into it with people, but I wouldn't say that was bullying. I feel like, but
What would you
because I
reference
did
it
hold my
as?
own ground.
Was a lot of it your skin complexion?
I didn't feel like that until probably high school or after high school a little bit. But maybe it was her because they used to, make jokes and stuff about everybody. So their form of time was to talk shit about people, and I didn't like it from them. That's why I stayed back from them. I don't know if that was that year or it wasn't more than that. As you said, 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Who you looking at, girl?
Oh, Lagena.
Mm-hmm.
So listen. I'm never going to lie. I'm never going to
Oh, the
hide
double
anything. I'm
eye
always going
blink.
to be
I
very,
saw that.
very transparent. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, the ages of 12 and 15 stand out to me. And it stands out because one, there's something about your mom. And I mean your mother, your biological mother, the mother who birthed you, not this whatever has been going on. I mean, the mother who birthed you that made you feel some sort of way. I need to acknowledge that. I also need to acknowledge the feelings of not being like everyone else or not feeling accepted inside of where I was or where I grew up. Okay.
Yeah. As far as being in that grown up with them, I didn't feel accepted, or I always felt like they treated me different. But as far as that specific time frame, them ages, I'm not sure. I do acknowledge that they was abusive. I do acknowledge that, but it was just as far as specific, like you want something for me to tell you something specific. I'm not sure what you want me to say.
Got it. No, I don't want you to say anything. I just want you.
Now she wants to put out a tagline. Oh, I don't know what you want me to say. And the governess quickly cleaned that up. This is not about me wanting you to say anything. This is not scripted. This is live. I don't know if the bucket hat is too tight. I don't know if the cue cards aren't cueing, but Lagena, you're about to get read. Because at this point, I want you guys to take a look at the governess. See those eyes? It's like I can see your bull mess and you're playing with me. You're playing with me. But I'm going to keep it cool. Because the truth has to be told. Let's go.
You to like hear me and whatever you understand, then you just let me know.
Yeah.
So I need to skip ahead to 21 and through 21, 22, and 23 years old. Okay.
There she go with the minds.
Let me understand something, man. Is it sexual abuse? Was that too much for you to handle mentally?
I think I might have been. I'm not sure. They said it's something I forgot, so I'm not. It might have been that.
Who is they? When you keep saying they, who is they?
My psychic or my tata and my babalao. They said it's something I forgot, and so I'm not sure. It could be possible. So, are you saying it happened when I was in that 12, 13, or was it 2021 or 2022? I mean that year.
I feel like the sexual abuse happened younger, but I feel like around 21 through 23 is where the mental break started to happen. Now, let me say this, because I got to be quite honest with you, because I'm not going to play any games. I'm not going to play any games whatsoever. I do not believe that you have forgotten. Okay? I don't believe you have forgotten. Okay? I believe that your life was very tumultuous, and it was a lot to handle. And I feel like there was a lot of mistreatment to where you did not want to belong in which the family in which you were with. And so I feel like things started to happen, as well as like bullying and some sort of like abuse, and unacceptance and feeling different. And so it feels like going into like 21, 22, 23 years old, I feel like there was something about going to school or going to college. So did you enroll to college or did you actually go to college?
I went to a community college around that time. But as far as like sexual abuse, I don't remember, because I would have just said, no, I didn't get sexual abuse, but I'm not sure.
All right. Leilani, just so far, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings so far?
I think that the governess is on to Lagena and trying to establish like some basics just to see if Lagena is an honest person. When you start off a conversation and you ask people for basic information, you basically trying to figure out if do you lie about every little thing, or are you generally a forthcoming and honest person? So I do think that Lagena came to this interview with a goal. That's why she reached out to the governess, and she thought she was going to be able to steer the conversation and control the narrative. And I think Lagena is thrown off by the governess not feeding into her, not taking the bait, and not being distracted, but continuing to try to establish a baseline of honesty, which we can't get from Lagena. So it's very frustrating.
All right. And thank you for that. Let's get into it now, Leilani. I don't know if you're still over there eating, but now
I sure am.
Listen, get seconds, get a refill on your drink, because baby, it gets better. Let's go.
I would say what evidence that I might have had it was when I had like a miscarriage, but I had sex with one person, and that should have been the time frame, because I still had my period and stuff too, so it was unexplainable what happened.
What's the age on that?
This was in 2014, so 2014, maybe 19, 20.
See, this is what I'm saying to you, love. There's a mental break that happened here. I want to understand, your mother, is she somewhat the source of the mental infraction?
When I was younger, but you're not gonna believe me anyway. So as far as what happened to her, and then when I was very young, like with Nana, I was saying wavering.
Because I feel like
she's my mom. So
I feel like all of these things, I'm talking about your biological mother, your real mother. I'm not talking about this whole Aaliyah fictitious thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your real mother, your biological mother. Because I feel like you were left alone a lot. I feel like that there was parental out of the house. I feel like there was some sort of like mistreatment or neglect going on right there. And it not necessarily, what is it? Yeah.
I'm agreeing. Yeah, that happened.
And I feel like the honest
at this point right here, she's being read. And like you were saying, that she was establishing the truth. And so now she has to okay, let me give you what you think I don't know. And now she's over there in her brain trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to keep up? See, the thing is, she don't know which question is going to be asked next. So she has to be on her toes. And when you're lying, this is what happens. The truth gets, you're forced to just give it on up. Just stop trying to fight the truth. Now it's that's the look when you know you done messed up. Oh, at this point in time, she knew she messed up. Look at her face. And the governess is like, ha ha, aha. She's trying to play a little game with me. But let's get into it. Let's go.
acceptance and the bullying in and out of the family caused some things to happen, and it may also have been triggered by the miscarriage or the pregnancy or whatever that is. It may be triggered by that, but it feels like around that time of going to college and not feeling seen or accepted, and then I feel like there was a period of trying to grow and to be seen and to be accepted, which is what led you into this dysfunctional reality. Okay, so listen, I'm aware that you're aware that Aaliyah and R. Kelly are not your parents. I'm aware
that they are.
I'm aware that you're aware. I'm not going to play that game. I'm aware that you're aware that they are not. I'm aware
that they are.
This is one of the things that.
Is it because they're celebrities, you don't feel it, or it just?
Because they're not your parents. And you're aware that they're not your parents.
Now, Leilani, did you just hear that?
Yeah, she said, are you aware that they are not your parents?
And she says, is it because they're celebrities? What are your thoughts on that response?
It goes back to what I said earlier. I thought it was a huge, like massive step forward for Lagena when she said that she took one of the DNA tests and it confirmed that, and I can't remember which country, that she's either Ghanaian or Nigerian. And for me, that was more important than the result on whether or not she's related to R. Kelly and Aaliyah. Because if for her to acknowledge that she's African is the same thing to me as saying I'm not connected to R. Kelly and Aaliyah, I really am African. So even though she didn't say those words, I felt that Lagena giving the public that information that she is DNA confirmed African was a step in the right direction.
Hmm. I felt like what she could have done was, okay, I'm African, and that could have been her new journey on moving forward instead of still trying to carry on the lie. She should have just, okay, drop that off. Now I know who my real family is. Let's go on the journey and let's go find them. She could have done it that way.
But that's what I was saying earlier. She has to get to the bottom of why she created these big distractions in the first place. The reason for the lies is to cover up the hurt, the pain, the sorrow, the guilt, the shame. That's what needs to be uncovered in order for her to stop with the distractions.
All right, let's get into it.
But I remember them being in, and I feel like they are.
No, you created that.
I created that Nana and there was my family.
She confirmed that her dad is not
You
her
didn't
dad.
accept that they were your family. Because
I actually did.
on
Like,
the inside, you wanted to belong to something different, and becoming inside of the dysfunctionality of the love that you began to carry for Aaliyah and wanting her to be your mother is where you created that.
The thing is, I had the memories of her being my mom. I don't know, like, because she's, not to be mean or anything, because I didn't grow up around the generation where it was adoration. I just already knew who she was. And then after she died,
say it again.
That's when I already knew who she was before, like before her name, like as far as her celebrity wise. And that's why I even knew her as soon as I seen her on TV. I'm like, that's her, my mom. That was her. And as far as like, I'm not a fangirl. I'm not following to these celebrity hype things. I'm not doing any of that.
But you are. This is just one of the things that you created to push yourself out there.
No, because the thing is, I value the people I did grow up, even though they did treat me wrong. I would rather that they was, and I don't have to deal with the other ones. But this is my feeling. This is my memory. And like I said, I still need the proof, and I just had the DNA test saying, no, not my dad. And I would be able to, back in the day, I would swear that he was. But Zama, I still got to figure it out too. So I asked her for a DNA test, and then we can go live on air because it's just everybody honest now. So it is for me. I just know what I know and remember what I remember. I don't know if you can see it because what you're saying about your biological mom, she did leave me. She left me alone. She had a career. The thing with Zama, I wasn't really around her either. So I don't know if you can read both there.
Who is that you call it? You said Donna or Zana?
Zama.
Zama. Who is that?
Yeah. My adopted mom.
Your biological mom.
My adopted mom.
Your biological mom.
I don't know if you can you read her or the sense if she is or not?
That's your biological mother, right?
No.
Are you not a twin?
No, I don't think, no, he's not my twin. I've always been bigger than him, taller than him. As far as when you say different age ranges, I believe that I'm 2 years older than what they told me.
But you're not, and you know that.
You know, I do spiritual work too, and I also knew that it was gonna happen this way too. But
what's the end game? What's the end game?
No end game.
Like what after everything is said and done, then what's gonna happen?
Like in my life, yeah. I still want justice for my mom, Aaliyah, and I still want to help other people that's in that predicament as far as in the music industry.
But you know she's not your mom.
I know she is.
You know she isn't.
It's because she is a celebrity.
It has nothing to do with her being a celebrity. That's why I asked you if you knew who I was.
I've seen some of your videos. I've seen some.
Did you see the one I did with her?
Because I also know Monica, she's saying that the thing you said about 10 is accurate.
And I'm telling you, and what I'm saying about you is accurate.
So, Love Lila Halton, that's my biological name. I don't know if you could sense something other. Because I also have verification from my psychic in my Tata. But and then you also saying, oh, you remember getting sexually abused. Not at those ages, not that time. I don't remember ever. So if you're saying 12, 13, no, I didn't remember
saying
everything.
Before then, but there's something about the age of 12, 13, 15, as well as 21 and 23. Those ages stand out to me for some specific reason. Not really
you know why?
As to exactly like.
She seemed like,
so
wow,
around 12 years old, right? I feel like that is kind of where you started to understand that you were more than unhappy with your living situation, okay? And you also understood that like you wanted to be like seen. You understood then you were not being seen. You understood then that you wanted to do something to where you had attention. It feels like you were left alone a lot. And when I say that, I mean the parentals were not in the household the way that they should have been. I don't know if they were working or just out of the house. But I know that there are you and I want to say like 5 to 6 other people or children in the household. Okay. I feel like the home life wasn't always so good, so kept. Okay. I feel like the mother, your mother, the woman you grew up with, I feel like she was not as attentive as she should have been. And I feel like there was something about her that made you feel different and accepted.
Something about her, the one I grew up with.
Yes.
I didn't know I loved her until like 2008 after her stroke. And I'm not trying to be mean about it just because she wasn't there. But when that happened, to see her in the hospital bed, I did feel away. I'm like, dang. She already lost. She couldn't be around kids anyway because she was on that. She lost parental rights, or she just couldn't be around kids. So I knew that already. Because CPS, Child Protective Service, I said I couldn't see her, so I was accepting of that. And
tell me why she lost the parental rights.
I remember, because the thing is, the age I remember her hitting his head, not a head, with a hammer, and in the car. The thing is, my so-called twin don't remember that night or the other one, but that's why I say I'm older than them, because I remember everything that happened that night. As far as
you remember because you were traumatized, and that's what I'm saying to you, which is why you don't want to belong to this family, which is why you have created this dysfunction.
I would rather belong to them just because of some fact the whole what he did with the kids. I don't agree with that. But I also remember seeing him when I was younger, and Nana was there too.
Not one time in this interview, she says, I remember being with my mom, Aaliyah. I remember RKELLY coming to pick me up, this, that, and the third. She's not singing that same tune that she was singing on those interviews when she was getting that clout and everybody was interested. Oh, yeah, Yeah, my daddy used to pick me up. I remember I seen him. It does. What are your thoughts, Leilani, on the content so far before we move more into?
I think you're right. The governess is putting holes in Legina's story. Legina is not able to keep up with what she has told us as the audience because of the governess asking her personal questions. And, unfortunately, it reveals exactly what I was saying. Until Legina deals with what happened, because the governess was like, what happened at this age? What happened at that age? And Legina is completely not answering those questions. So for me as a counselor, I would say those are the places that Legina is hiding, and that's what's contributing to her dysfunction. Like, she don't want to deal with what really happened, and as long as she holds on to that, she's going to continue to generate distractions.
All right, let's go ahead and proceed. Put your seatbelts on.
You are very aware that Aaliyah Halton and Robert Kelly are not your parents.
And if it's when it's proven,
I don't need for it to be proven because this is what I
it's
do.
going to. It's going to one day.
And I'll wait for it. And I'll wait for it.
The
But
combative.
you know, like I know that they're not your parents.
I know they are.
You don't. And I understand.
I do.
But let me say this, because everyone has treated you like a child that is just have created a false narrative. And I'm not going to give you that because you're, what, 31?
Well, I believe I'm 30 or about to turn 30. But the other age is only 27.
So the thing is this, you're not a kid. You're very aware. You're not, and you're very aware. And you've tried multiple things to get yourself seen. And this is something that just so happened to be something that got you seen.
Ma'am, if I wanted to be seen, I would have just done something that's normal to do without being ridiculed, without being like, I would have done like a normal thing to get viral, a normal thing.
You did.
Shake my ass or something, or date a rapper or
you did a lot
singer.
Of things to go viral, but none of those things worked.
For my protection.
None of those things worked.
No, I didn't do any of that. I don't.
So she done a lot of things to go viral. And her excuse, because they didn't take off, she says it was for my protection. Let's get into it.
Have no internet. I don't do recordings of shaking my booty. I don't do things.
I've seen your recording. If I would have done it, I would have just some of the things that you've done, and none of those things work. What I'm saying to you is, that's why I asked you why you wanted to do this, because someone should have told you that I'm not going to lie to you and I'm not going to allow you to come on and make a fool of my platform. You're very aware.
I'm not saying, I feel like that you would meant, not to cut you off or anything, but I feel like that you will be able to look in my energy and see it.
I am, and I'm telling you.
Even though I am spiritual like myself, and I knew it was not going to be the end of the way, but I'm not going to flaky. I'm not one to just try to back off because it don't go my way. It's not a way. I'm just trying to feel like maybe I'm just trying to see what happened to me if something happened to me. But then you saying, oh yeah, it's something you remember. I don't remember being sexually assaulted as a kid. I don't remember that. Not even in my early 20s. I don't remember that. But you're saying that was something that you do remember. And I'm like, I don't remember. I would just said it. But I thought you'd be able to talk about that. I don't know if you
there's a lot
can't
of
say who it is or who it is.
There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of abuse.
Are you saying it's from the D name, or is it from who was it? Like,
let me ask you a question. Why'd you choose that name?
Because you know.
Because that's what you said. It was a D. So I'm just saying, okay, maybe it's put something specific from that, or Or is it because she had something to do with something, or is it him that did something to me, or is it like it's two D's? I don't know. Because you said it was a D name.
Busted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it dots, or is it?
Okay. So listen, there was a lot of things that took place inside of your household from the time of ages. I believe it's between 3 to 5 years old is when some of the sexual abuse started, right? And then I feel like it progressed
Mm,
up. But you're saying you don't remember anything, but I also feel like that there was things sexually about you as well. Okay.
something sexual from me.
Mhm, 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 mhm. Yes. Um, and it is a lot.
All right, I want to pause it right here. Leilani, this is the part where she's being exposed for engaging in acts that were inappropriate.
Yeah, her face looks like a deer in headlights. Like, oh shit.
Looks just like that photo. Get your drink, because now it's about to get ready, because now we have made it to the highway, and I think we're about to put the pedal to the metal. Let's go.
It is a lot. Because I feel like you all were left to your own devices a lot. And so
Mhm.
um, your innocence was taken long, long time ago. But the manipulation factor, it started probably between the ages of 7 and 10 and got really, really hectic around 12 to 13 years old. There were so many lies that was told. This is not just your first time doing things like this. You've lied a very, very long time. You're used to lying and manipulating, and I understand. But I'm just a person, I stand by what it is that they show me so I completely understand. Like, this is just one of the many things that you've concocted and brought out in hopes to become seen. I understand that. I understand that. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're right. Maybe I missed. I'm not. I'm not. And I'm starting with the sexual and the abuse, um, because I believe that is the factor of why you're doing what you're doing.
Because you're trying to make it seem like I'm doing it because of clout, or I'm just maybe I am broken out of reality. I'm not sure, because you're saying sexual abuse from whatever age, and I used to be able to say like, no, I didn't get touched, nor this didn't happen. But now you're telling me something different. Other people saying I forgot something terrible happened to me. I don't know, but I'm not. All this thing is because I'm my memories and what I feel. I don't know if they just put me with other people and adults or something that got sexually assaulted or something, or I'm not sure. I'm still trying to find who I am and what happened to me in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really don't know 100%. But I'm not on here for clout. I'm
When
on
did you
here
discover
for
that you didn't know?
when
When
I
did you
discover I didn't
when
know.
did you discover that you didn't know?
As far as
Like that you
being
don't
sexual.
remember things.
Oh, from my Baba Lao, because he said something happened to you that you forgot.
So right now, I want you guys to pay attention to Lagena. Lagena now is wrestling with the spirit. She can't stay still because they're pushing her to the truth. What are your thoughts, so far?
I think you're right when you said she's wrestling with the spirit. Before you even said that, the place where you just now paused this video, look at Legina's eyes. Her pupils, one of them look up and down, the other one looks sideways. Like her pupils is doing two different things. that's a sign of demonic possession. It always shows in the eyes. Either the eyes go completely dark or they go in different directions. Like the person is not there anymore and something else have taken over them. So, I mean, Lagena, I looked at her Instagram a couple of months ago, and she was selling candles and doing tarot card readings and saying that she's a spiritual guide, but she's not settled enough in her own body to be giving any spiritual counsel. I don't believe in tarot cards and candles and stuff like that. I only believe in God. But when people who are not grounded in their own being play with quote unquote magic, they become easily possessed because they have holes in their own aura that demonic spirits can pass through. So Lagena is beyond mentally ill at this point. She's playing with spirits, and that could also be why maybe she intentionally did a ritual to become famous. Maybe she intentionally attempted to channel Aaliyah's spirit. I think that at this point we're past mental illness and we've gone into possession of some sort.
I totally agree. I couldn't agree more. It's so interesting that you called out these steel shots. It's only going to get fasten your seatbelts. We're going in. We're about to put the pedal to the metal. High speed chase drives. Let's go.
And I'm like, what happened? And then my Tata, who's also in the Paulo,
Hi,
something like
Sandy.
Paulo, he's saying, oh, something terrible happened to you that you don't remember. So I'm like, what happened?
Do you have two sisters?
Two sisters?
Mm-hmm.
You only said two sisters, or?
I'm asking, do you have two? Are they younger than you?
Yes, but you don't believe that they're my sisters or not, so. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to leave everything else to the side for just a moment because I want to look at something else. What's the fire? Like, did someone set a fire? What's the fire?
Oh yeah. So yeah, somebody did set a fire. The little girl I was raised with, yeah, she set a fire, or she set the brother, but I think it was her that had a lighter. But it's also somebody else that set a fire somewhere else. So I'm not sure if that's it too.
So when you say
is it
the
a house
little
fire,
girl, you
or
mean
is
your
it like
sister, your little sister is the one who set the fire?
Yeah, but David also set a fire somewhere too, and then
David
the house I
also
was
set
in
the
had
fire as well.
the next. Yeah, it's a different. So I don't know which one.
Okay, got it.
Is it?
And so, I don't want to mispronounce her name again because is it Vama? What is it? What's her name?
Zama. It's almost like Da, but
Zama.
Zama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it her mom that's
It's
crossed
two
over
girls,
this
actually.
past?
No.
Who is
No,
the grandmother?
her mom's still alive.
Who is the grandmother that's
Her
crossed
grandma?
over?
Yeah.
No. Not her grandma. Let me understand something. No. Either she has someone else that raised her like a mom, or you were also in a foster system with another woman that raised you.
Can you say that again?
Okay, so either Zama has two moms, like someone else that raised her, or there's someone else that also raised you besides Zama.
Zama wasn't never raised with another woman.
She the governess asked the question. I heard it very clear. Lagena says, huh, what you say? And then it's giving me that it's giving somebody time to prepare an answer. And so she looks over and then she responds. So I do feel like there's somebody in the room with her. I do feel like she's being coached. Leilani, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that every question that she doesn't answer is where her trauma lies. If we were to cut up this interview and only isolate each question the governess asked her that she did not directly answer, that's where her trauma lies. If we just cut that part up and we tied Lagena down to a chair and we played that on the TV and made her watch it, she would probably break down and cry. Because when people don't want to answer, like if you was interrogating your boyfriend, like, where were you at last night? And he gonna keep deflecting like Lagena does, you're gonna suspect you did something that you don't want me to know. That's the only reason why you covering it up. So the cover-ups are where her real trauma lies. Now, Governess is not a therapist. She's not a psychiatrist. She's not a psychologist. So she's onto Lagena, but she's not necessarily the right person to elicit the information because that's where Lagena is hiding her trauma. And it's my opinion that if Lagena could be pinned down and forced to answer those questions, she would finally come to grips with the reality of why she's creating distractions, and she will break down, face her truth, and stop, with all of this public nuisance.
I agree. But now it's time to go and get the tequila. Let's go.
It was always her one mom. I didn't know this.
So were
But
you
me, I
the
was.
second woman?
Yeah. Well,
Were you in the foster system?
I said I believe I was adopted, but
No, this would be no, because there's an older woman. I don't feel like this is your mom's grandma. I feel like this is like a grandmother, unless this is your father's mom, because this is a grandmother.
Is she alive or is she dead?
She's crossed over. She's passed away.
I wasn't like, because I know you don't want to say, so you said about my parents' situation. I wasn't raised by another woman. Like, I've been with their households, different women's households, but they never had passed yet. They didn't die yet. So,
Right. But so saying, were you fostered to another household, or did you just stay with someone else?
I would say I stayed with a lot of different other people. So, but the women that prior to Nana, after living with him, the women I live with never died, so they still here.
Right. This is an older lady that would be like a grandmother. Where does that T name come in at? I don't know if that's like Teresa or Trisha. It's a T. And I just want to understand who that is and where that person comes in at.
I'm not sure who the T name is. The only one I know is probably Tanya or anything, but she's young. She's not a grandma, and I didn't live with her.
This is a T name. I need to understand. I know I heard you say something about somebody got hit with whatever hammer. This is something different, and I kind of want to connect this to something else. Like, unless this person was doing this a lot, like was somebody also hitting the head with like a pan or a pot or some kind of skillet? Like besides the hammer thing, who is the other person that would have hit somebody or got hit in their head with something? Because this is not a hammer, this is something else.
And she young? You said she's older, like at grandma age? Or
that's separate. That is separate. No. I'm asking you this. Who is the person that would have gotten hit or hit
with a pan?
Yeah, like with something like a pan or a pot or
Gwendolyn, she got in a domestic violence dispute with her boyfriend at the time. That's what I can only remember, somebody getting hit with a pan or something.
And who is that?
Gwendolyn.
And Gwendolyn is who?
The adopted sister, the older one.
Oh, the adopted sister.
Yeah.
Where's
I'm not sure it's her.
Okay, but where's the T name that connects with her?
Oh, she know I know of people that's related to her. That's like Tanisha or Tamika, or that'd be like her son's family. But I'm not sure. But they're not really grandma. I mean, well, I did live in that house before for a few months. So I'm not sure if that's it or.
Okay, understood. I so get it. There's a grandmother, and I don't know again and where she comes from, but I feel like she's on your mom's side of the family. But it could be your father. I feel like it's your mom's side. So now this is the thing.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It was lagging for a second.
I'm sure you're going to disagree with what I'm getting ready to say, but because you reached out to me, I'm going to do my job.
You ready?
That's just what I do.
You ready? Get in here. Get in close.
You've stolen from people.
Get in close.
You've done fucked up shit to people.
Get in close.
Listen, I see straight through it. I see straight through it all. And I know that
you're reading my energy.
No, I'm reading you, sister. You've stolen from people, like you've stolen people's clothes and shit, like earrings. You've stolen their shit. You've stolen their things.
What?
Get in close.
No, I haven't stolen since a kid. Like, I don't approve of that, like, at all.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You have stolen from people. And I know here recently you've tried to be good and make a difference because whatever. But this is the thing. You're very, very, very manipulative, and you like it feels like if we did interviews with people that were around you and grew up, everything that I'm saying to you would be validated.
Okay, I feel like maybe we should do interview with other people, because the thing is, I've been around people like that, and I try to do my best to not be like that. I don't believe in stealing from them. I probably was as a kid, and I learned my lesson. I haven't done that since like after 2003. I always been the person that said, "What about karma? It's a sin to be still." I always been like that, so it didn't just happen like, oh, I don't want to be like. It didn't just happen recently. I try not to do those type of things, especially after 2004. So if you're saying that's me, and I'll be trying not to do that, and telling people around me not to do that, and that's why I grew up around, and I'm like, nah, and I get ridiculed or bullied for not being like them. So I don't, because I heard you said I was manipulated before, that's why I was hesitant to come, because I'm like, really? But I'm like, I don't know. But
Get
But
in
as far as you
close.
calling me a thief and I haven't been stealing
Get in
as an
close.
adult, I know. Even as a teenager, I don't believe in that.
I want you to get in close. Okay, Leilani. I want you to get in close and let me know what you, girl, get in close and give me your opinion. Get in close.
When the governor said that she was stealing, I think she should have just left it at that open. I don't think she should have went as far as to say clothes and earrings. Because when Lagena went viral, she first went viral on TikTok with her story. However many people sympathized with her, empathized with her, sent her money, that's stealing. That's energy harvesting for personal gain. And if she knows that she's lying, that's a form of stealing. You know, it might not have been clothes and earrings, but just people's sympathy and willingness to send her donations because their heartstrings are pulled is a form of deception. So I think Petita was right to expose her, but I think she should have left it a little more open because by her saying clothes and earrings, that gave Legina the opportunity to wiggle out and say, "Oh, I didn't steal nothing from nobody since I was a little kid." But then she escapes responsibility for the energy harvesting.
All right. And that's why we have Leilani here to break it down in a professional way. Okay. Now, grab a snack because we're about to get right back to this content. Let's go.
And I know you said, yeah, she's gonna deny. I'm in denial. I don't know what energy you're reading, or I don't know. I feel like the people are around me that they was doing that. So if you interview their ass, you read them right. And I'm the one I try not to do it. They be like, "Oh, you're an angel to die. You think you're an angel?" And I tried for a long time not to do that. I believe in God watching me, and I was a heavy Christian, so I'm like, that I should not steal. So I'm like, if it's taken from somebody else and that's not mine, I don't like to do that at all.
Thou shalt not lie, sis. Get in close. Get in close. Get in close.
You stole from people. You've stolen clothes. You've stolen earrings. You've stolen their money. You've not really been nice to children growing up. When you were not that nice because of the shit that you were going through, the bullying, the manipulation. Like you were over a few children. Now, I'm not gonna say that you were just a monster or no shit like that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, like, I feel like you got the blunt of a lot of shit. Like shit was taken out on you. And because of that, I feel like you had a break, a mental break. And I feel like you have created a lot of different things, but you know how to be manipulative. Like you're two-sided. Because you know how to play this game. And so that's the energy that you want people to come with, but you are dangerous.
Get in close. Get in close.
I want you to be better. I want you to get better. I want you to understand that this is not what it has to be.
The thing is, I'm not saying any of this because I don't believe in my own self. I genuinely believe that they are my parents. And I'm not going to stop until I'm proven wrong. As far as being stealing and stuff.
You're saying that because you don't want people to look at you and say that you're a liar. This is a part of who you are.
I'm not here to lie on a dead woman or to claim a guy that touched on kids. I'm not trying to do that. This is what I believe. And then as far as I got from last year, like before August of 2022, I would have believed Nana was my dad. I would have thought I was gonna end. I would have just believed all that stuff that all the stuff that happened, I would just accept it because I'm like, oh yeah, that's what families are. I didn't seek no violation from them because I know what type of person they are in life, so I don't really care what they do. I already know what I.
All right, Leilani, go ahead and sound off on what's going on so far. What is your opinions on what's going on right now at the moment?
The governors have repeatedly brought up bullying to Lagena. She gave her different ages, she gave her different scenarios. Did the bullying happen at school? Did the bullying happen with your parents? Did the bullying happen with your siblings, whether they was adopted or biological? Lagena have completely skated around that bullying question. So for me, that's the ultimate nail in the coffin that Lagena is lying through this whole interview, because on Legena's own time, on her own platform, as well as when she was good with Jaguar, Lagena multiple times talked about she was bullied as a kid in school by the other kids. She even said they called her an African booty scratcher. I have not even heard that term, African booty scratcher, since I was a kid in school. I forgot all about that. So when she said it, I knew it was true. You know, that kind of stuck out in my head like, oh, yeah, the kids did used to say that to the African kids in school. So the fact that she can't even admit to the governess, yes, I was bullied, as something that she have repeatedly said on her own. So Lagena completely checked out of this interview. She thought that she was going to control it, and when she couldn't, she just decided to just play dumb. This is a whole act on Legena's part. For her to not even be able to say, yes, I was bullied to the governess, huge, huge, huge red flag for me.
All right, time to refill those glasses. And we are being chauffeured around. We do have a designated driver. We're sitting back. Let's take a drive. Let's go.
I experienced. I know already knew. I'm just like, but now August, I'm like, that's when I found out, and I'm like, okay, now I know why certain things happen. But as far as you saying, oh yeah, you growing up being a thief or manipulating and stuff like that, I don't want to manipulate nobody. I want people to see me for who I am, and I see them for who they are.
But you don't.
What?
But you don't. Because the thing is, you can't just say, okay, I lied, y'all. Because that's going to bring forth the other energy.
But I don't believe I'm lying.
But you do. You know that.
I swear in my life, I don't believe I'm lying. And I swear to God,
know that you're lying.
I'm not lying. I don't believe I'm lying. I believe I'm telling the truth. Like I said, I still got to do the DNA stuff. I'll take the steps necessary.
You said your name is Love. Where'd you hear that at?
Love Lila Houghton.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you hear that at?
Growing up, I always called myself Love or my rap name or things like that. And then the psychic helped me with that too. I don't know if you can read on that name or...
You're a liar. And you're a manipulator.
Look, I have lied before, but I do take ownership. I don't feel like I'm lying. This is what I believe in. I feel like people think, oh, you're trying to get clout. I feel like it's a lot of many ways to get clout. It's a many ways to get clout and many ways to get viral. I don't feel like I'm lying. You saying that I'm lying on people. I genuinely believe Aaliyah is my mom and Robert Kelly's my dad. Because I remember seeing him.
And like, even with today, like, you know who I am. You know the work that I do. And the hype about you has gone down. And this would just be another way for your hype to escalate back up. And again, that's why
video live
it was.
You don't have to put this out because I already had. You can put it out or you don't put it out.
We could do it on live. That was your word.
Yeah.
You said we could do it live.
Because I don't have nothing to hide. I don't have nothing to hide.
Me either. And I have no reason to lie.
And I also have a different reading prior to you that's stating what I'm saying is facts. But it's not factored to I get the evidence out, so I'm gonna still have to do that part.
Right.
So I'm just like, it feels like for me, like for knowing them and then hearing this, even though I am spiritual too, I already knew it wasn't gonna go the way I'm thinking. But I'm like, you know,
you were okay with that. You were okay with knowing that it wouldn't go that way because
that's my spiritual intuition told me. But I'm like, I don't have nothing to hide. If it's some parts that is true or some parts that's not, I'm still gonna follow through because that's what I said to you. I don't want to cancel on you. And this is what, it's something God's gonna still bring us together for me to learn whatever I have to learn. And if you're saying I've been sexually assaulted, that's what I want to know too. Because you saying, oh yeah, you know that and you're lying about it. And I'm like, I don't remember. I used to be thinking like I didn't, nothing happened to me. Everybody else happened, something happened to them. And then I'm like, okay, but having the evidence of maybe that miscarriage, and I'm like, okay, that's to signify something that I should have already knew, but I don't remember.
So have you ever had to see a mental health physician?
No, that's not I know of back in the kids. I don't know what happened to me.
I mean, as an adult, have you had to be like, did you check yourself into a mental hospital? Have you ever been seen by a mental health doctor?
I had talked to my therapist, and then after I went viral, they put me into a mental hospital. So for like a psychiatrist, that's my first time. I'm not sure if anything happened that I don't remember, like a shock therapy or something happened that I don't know what my hidden memories, the forgotten memories. I can't take account for those. So maybe if there's something I done that I don't remember it and I done it at that times I don't remember, maybe that's true. I'm not sure. But for me, this consciousness, I don't remember that.
Okay.
So like
I want you to hear me when I say I'm gonna say something. I want you to hear me. So I do a lot of interviews with those who have crossed over and passed away.
Yeah.
And I did an interview with Aaliyah. There was a question where she was very specific to say she doesn't have any children.
That's what she said. Would you ever tap into her now?
Absolutely. You're not her daughter.
I don't know, because that kind of made me sad. If you really did talk to her, and that's what she said specifically. Was this recently?
This was like 3 years ago. This is 3 years ago. So even in the right now, I have to tell you, you're not her daughter.
I believe I am, but I don't know if I'm not sure. I still need proof for myself, because I'm not saying, I still need to find out. That's what I said. I still remember her. I don't know why I remember her. That's prior before I even got around Zama or Nana. And I still remember Robert and Wayburn.
Listen, I'm going to be very honest with you. The child that Aaliyah was once pregnant with was a son. The child was sacrificed. The child did not even make it outside of her 6th month of pregnancy. She does not have any living children. You are not her daughter.
And then my psychic also, my other one confirmed. I'm not trying to compare you and him or you, because I feel like you are
There's nobody
spiritual aware.
This walk like I do. There's nobody that walks this walk like I walk it. So I'm okay with you saying that. My work is proven.
And so is that person too. And it's 2 other people saying, confirming for me too.
You're not her daughter, and you know that.
I believe I am. Because why none of the Halton came out and said no. And I'm not trying to use this moment like to go online. I just feel like maybe I don't know. But I knew. And my intuition, I already knew. I was expecting it. So, but I also believe that you was here to shed light on what might have happened to me as a kid. I can't confirm that or not because I don't remember.
And I have, and I want you to understand that there is a lack of acceptance of who you are, where you come from. and you're not her daughter. The child she was pregnant with was a son. That child is not living. I understand. And I understand
I
the
can't
love
tell you what
that you
you've
have
seen or
for her.
heard. I can't speak on that. I
I
can only know
understand
what
the
I know.
love that you have for her. I understand that you talk to her. I understand. I get it. I understand it.
All right. So, Leilani, what are your thoughts? Oh,
I'm glad that the governess is like the first person to just finally say it to Legina's face. Like, you're not her daughter. Like, all the other YouTubers that have interacted with her never even tried it. They all just went along with whatever Legina wanted to put out as her narrative. So it's good for someone to finally say, listen, let's just get to the bottom of this. Um, I wanted to respond to a comment that came up on the screen by I think the person's name is Evelyn, about demonic possession. And I just want to quickly say that um, the devil can influence people to become demonic, but God gave us all free will. So you're not just going to become automatically possessed just because you use an electronic medium like a cell phone or a television. I know a lot of people talk about Black Mirror, and there's even a show called Black Mirror. And like the theory is a Black Mirror is used as a medium for demons to pass through. Some people also feel that regular mirrors are also portals for demons. But we all have free will. If we don't want to be demon possessed, the demon can't possess us. Okay? The people have to give their permission. So don't be afraid. Just be aware that if you suspect there's some demonic activity going on, that you're not giving it permission to enter your home or your space, right? But back to the governess and Legina, I think that it's good that the governess is giving her pushback. um, Legina is not able to disagree with the governess in a convincing way. Like, Legina is not even prepared to defend her position. So I think the governess is winning, this argument. Legina is not holding her own to prove the governess wrong.
yeah. And it's so unfortunate. Oh, Evelyn says, great, thank you. But it's so unfortunate that she really wants to carry the light on instead of just calling it quits and just moving on with her life and really getting the help that she needs. Well, guys, we have come to the end of the show of the commentary. If you guys want to see the full video, you can definitely go over to a walk with our ancestors, and you can always type in the governess here on YouTube. This was a lot. I'm glad that the truth is out and that, you know, Aaliyah can finally get this young lady up off of her back. It's so interesting how, people they cross over and people want to say, oh, I knew this person, this, that, and the third. It's so easy to say that because that person cannot come and say, no, I don't know them. Well, Leilani, go ahead and introduce yourself once again and leave us with a positive message and let the people know where they can follow you.
Okay, well, thank you for having me, Tulsa. I appreciate the talk and you catching me up because I joined and I didn't even know what was going on. So it's kind of interesting to find out and react to it in real time. So thank you for having me. Um, I think we all need to just stand in our own power God has blessed us with love, power, and a sound mind. We start to lose our spirit of love when we turn our back on God, when we walk away from the Creator. We start to lose our power when we walk away from the Creator. We start to lose our sanity when we walk away from the Creator. And if you're going to be lying and manipulating, deceiving, stealing, that's how you walk away from the Creator. And unfortunately, we get to see how that plays out in real time when we look at somebody like Legena. She came up with this extraordinary story, but how did it backfire on her? She ran into the arms of Jaguar, who was not stable, who was in a contentious relationship, who didn't have stable housing, who was constantly on the move. They were on the road in the car, driving up and down from Texas to Louisiana, to here, to there, to everywhere, to getting arrested. Legena had to bail her out, pay for the tow truck, and all this stuff, the moving truck. So Legena thought by reaching out to Jaguar that she was going to get a come up. But what happened? She got to pull down. So it blew up in her face. She reached out to the governess. She said, "Oh, well, I'm going to try to use this lady to control a narrative in a spiritual, deceptive way." And what happened? The governess exposed her. So Legena has to learn that it's not going to work and that she needs to really humble herself and come to grips with reality. That's the only way forward is through the truth. You're not going to move forward with lies, deceptions, manipulations, and delusions. It's not going to work. So I hope that she figures that out sooner than later and accepts her reality for what it is and gets the help that she needs to heal. She may not get the resolve that she wants from her mother, her father, or her immediate family. She did say that her mom was on drugs, so it's very possible that her mother abandoned her and left her with some people who may have physically or abused her. It's very possible with what happened to the biological family. Absent father, absent mother, the children are vulnerable. But what we can all take away from it is if we're not resolved in our traumas, it can manifest in very ugly ways. So nobody is going to love you the way God loves you, not even your own parents. We draw our spiritual power and our strength to move forward through our relationship with God. That's what replenishes us and gives us strength to say, I'm a survivor. I'm not a victim anymore. And so until Legena can move from a space of trauma to a space of victory, she's going to continue to suffer, and unfortunately, she's going to continue to attract people who, are not going to necessarily help her move forward, but instead hold her back. I think that Genesis is doing her a service and a favor by taking care of her because if she genuinely was traumatized, that's why she doesn't want to go back where she came from. However, that doesn't mean that she doesn't need therapy. So I don't want to just make it a thing of Legena. I want everybody to be able to take away. We have to heal. If we don't heal, our wounds get deeper and deeper and our behavior becomes more and more dysfunctional. This is a lesson for all of us.
And where can people find you?
I'm sorry?
And where can the people find you?
Oh, I'm on YouTube and Instagram as Leilani for God.
All right. Thank you so much, Leilani, for that. I'm gonna go ahead and I think we have feedback, so I just muted you. I'll go ahead and give our daily devotional and we can tune on out. Daily devotion, tuning in to God's will. If you want to be sure you are hearing from God, spend time in His holy word. daily, May 25th, 2023. Psalms 119:17 through 24. If you follow Jesus, you have likely heard the phrase God's will. It's often mentioned in the context of his having a will for each believer or of our doing his will, walking in his will, and the like. If we love the Lord, then certainly we want to obey him. John 14:15. But let's take a look at some of the reasons we might miss his plan for our life. Handling God's word improperly. When our days become jam packed with commitments and activities, it's easy to have trouble maintaining a steady intake of scripture. Without spending time in God's word, we tend to forget what matters to him. Then there are times that some of us will incorrectly use scripture to support decisions we've already made. Or when God's word does not match what we want, we might ignore it and do things our way. Picking the wrong guide. When making decisions, we sometimes rely too heavily on other people's opinions. We think that the easiest and quickest way to get the answers is to ask fellow Christians or even unbelievers who seem wise. Making scripture your daily companion is the best way to not miss God's plan. Be prepared to spend time reading and listening while the Spirit teaches you what God's will is for your life. On that note, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and enjoying the show and the commentary. Make sure you go over and follow Leilani for God on all social medias. It's spelled just like it is on there. And on that note, remember, girls need love too. This concludes our broadcast. So long.